Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another D4 broadcast, another D4 race at nonetheless Monaco.
Yeah, a really classic track to be racing at here in ZRL. Of course, we have full quali with it being Monaco. Um, so what do you think we're going to be seeing in the terms of pole here, Luke? Who do you predict is going to be taking it?
Oh, well, predicting will be a bit hard. I've seen some good stuff from Cole Cummings, some good stuff from Cole Cummings, Josh Barnsley, and even Hutsy. And Doctor's so good. Don't know, forgot who that was, but yeah, that's person too. Should all be up for a good position tonight. I mean, we've seen some strong times from practices so far, so let's see what these guys can do. I mean, we have some new faces in here. One being Hetrasy, new D4 Mercedes driver, came in last minute to be a full-time driver about 2 days ago. So let's see what he can do for his first race at Mercedes.
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch. Hopefully, no upsets in the top order. We don't like to see that in the lower divisions, but the drivers are already starting to head out pretty early into Q1 here, so it should be interesting to see how this plays out. I think it's a little bit too early to start your laps in Q1. You'd want to save your tires and wait for the track to grip up a little bit more, but obviously these drivers thinking otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, B-Boy Simba, our first driver on a hot lap, I believe. Let's hop on with him. B-Boy Simba working definitely hard to make his way back up the field. I mean, a very strong driver in the first half of the season, looking to get stronger on the later half. I mean, B-Boy Simba has shown extreme improvement from the beginning of this season. You know, a driver that has definitely climbed up the ranks in his own division, and can't wait to see what he can do at this lap.
Yeah, and just a good update, Josh Barnsley's just gone faster than B-Boy Simba, Aaron Green in the first sector, so see if he can keep up that momentum in the second sector. But qualifying is going to be very exciting here. Of course, Monaco qualifying is so crucial. There aren't really any overtaking corners here, so you have to qualify well to make the points. So it's going to be crucial here. And of course, with it being a full quali session, the drivers are going to have to be managing their tires and making sure that they make the most of them. As I say that, Josh Barnsley invalidated in the chicane, so he's going to have to go for another run here. Whether he does that on his the same set of tires, we're not sure, but of course, with only 15 drivers on the grid, everyone will be making it through this session.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone will be having to think about that, but also, let's just think about finishing laps. You do not want to be invalidating your laps. It's very important you get some sort of time on the table. A lot of people are going to be running through a lot of sets of tires. It's better to have a time versus not having a time, even if that time is not so good. As we see, Aaron Green has set a banker of a 14.2. Again, not a great time, but something on the board is better than nothing.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. It's always hard to figure out where the times will be, especially Monaco. Monaco is a track that really requires a lot of skill, and what it'll do is really draw out the differences between drivers and show, separate the men from the boys. So we could see some shocked people come out here and have really strong times at Monaco.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that's also shocking is Dr. So Good on the medium tires. You know, very unexpected for him to get on this tire. I mean, maybe scrubbing it in for the race, but at the same part, I don't think those medium tires will get him anywhere far, as everyone shall be doing at least 1 or 2 hot laps on soft tires. So
honestly, not a single driver needs to go out in this session, of course. I'm pretty sure the bottom 5 drivers will be eliminated, and with no bottom 5, I think none of these drivers actually have to go out and do laps, so going out on a set of mediums for Q1 is not a bad strategy when your times don't really matter.
Yeah, and not so bad as a 12.3 on medium tires. Doctor's so good. Killing it right now. I think this is Christian Cummings. Yes, this is Christian Cummings, my bad.
Yeah.
I forgot who was D4 Red Bull. Yeah, Christian Cummings sitting at 12.3 on the medium tires. Not bad. Medium tires is about 3/10 slower than the soft tire, so he's about on par with Aero right now.
Yeah, I think by the end here we'll see times get down to around a mid to low 11.
I mean, do you want to get down? I mean, you only need to really just do one run and everyone's through, right?
I just mean at the end of Q3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can definitely see some times around the 11 flat mark. For now, I don't think any driver should be doing more than one run. Maybe Buffalo. Actually, yeah, as you can see, B-Boy Simba retired as soon as he got his lap done. For someone like... Go ahead.
Go on. This is awkward.
No, I mean, I mean, for someone like Josh Barnsley, who invalidated his lap, you know, those things hit more when you don't have to really do more than 2 laps. You're just really hitting yourself more than anything.
Yeah, but like I said before, and someone check me if I'm wrong, but when you have a full quali and only 15 drivers, I'm almost certain that Q1 doesn't matter. I don't think it's like out of the
It's a
5 drivers
redundancy.
out of 15, I'm pretty sure it's 5 out of 20.
Yeah.
So you don't have to set a lap in this session, you get through. So
Oh, that is
really,
actually
but
true.
Ben has just joined, so when he takes over, drivers are gonna have to be doing laps here. So
Oh yeah, someone will be cut off, and Hutsy is looking like one of them. I mean, a 120 is not going to catch you anywhere in the top 15. I mean, also I have reports that Stars FPS may be joining us as well, so there might be 2 drivers getting kicked out.
yeah,
So
of
we will
course, with
see.
people joining mid-quali, we're probably gonna see a lobby rehost before the race. So that might give us a bit of a delay before then.
Yeah, and a delay that reassures a stable lobby is better than unstable lobby during a very long race and a very painful race that a lot of people don't really want to, you know, delay or have to redo a couple laps in. You know, Monaco is very grueling and is very concentrated focus, and I think drivers being thrown out of a race and then be put back into one is not a very great feeling. And I think some of these drivers have set times on intermediate tires, which is not the correct tire for the weather condition.
No, that is against the rules, so we will probably see some tickets rolling in against that. I'm not exactly sure what the penalty is, but definitely not great. Some teams need to be double checking the rule book here.
Florida's letting Kevin Magnussen through. Very good from the American driver of Florida. We haven't heard much from him this season so far in D4, but definitely a strong driver. Definitely strong in the race and in qualifying most of the time. So we'll love to see what Florida can do these 39 laps coming up soon. Well, not soon, but in 30 minutes.
Yeah, as most drivers are in the pits, it looks like Petrossi's just spun on his outlap and has damaged his front wing. So, I think he might be
Yeah.
missing an end plate.
Yeah, he is missing an end plate.
Yeah, so he's going to be coming into the pits, but he should have time to put a lap in, so nothing to
Oh
worry
yeah,
about
more than
there.
that.
But I don't believe Ben's taking control of a car, so maybe he'll be lucky enough, but not great on your debut to be spinning into the wall, but hopefully we can see a bit more from Petrossi here.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Gibbs also, I think he will not be also setting a lap. I think he feels he's safe, unless that's him coming out of the pits right now. Nope, Gibbs is not coming out the pits. I think Gibbs thinks he's safe, so he's not going to set a time. I mean, good on Gibbs. He gets an extra set of soft tires to practice with. But I think Hetrashi should be focusing on keeping his tires nice and low wear, so he can go back out on the same set.
Yeah, he's
With
definitely
minimal
pushing
punishment.
a bit more than I'd expect him to be.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's his first debut race. We can't be too harsh on him. Hetrasi's known for being a guy who focuses on the race more than qualifying, so we'll love to see what he can do in the race as well. As a lot of people are retiring right now, people aren't worried. I think Ben cannot join the lobby, so I don't think Gibbs and Hetrasi need to set a lap.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, Florida retire. Everyone's retiring from the session right now. You do not need to
Yeah.
finish a lap to get through to Q2, so Hetrasi and Gibbs should also be retiring.
I mean, I guess maybe Hetrasi will want to go out and see what he can do.
Maybe, but
But
you can still do 3 laps on Q2. You know, you have enough time.
yeah,
But I get what you're saying. Like, use these set of tires. You know, see where you're at. You're gonna have to use them anyways. Like, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, I don't think it's ideal. I wouldn't do it if I was Hetrasi, but it's something he could do if he ends up not retiring.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of the drivers have given up their times and said, "Yep, this is what I can do." So far we can see that your guys are going to be fighting for pole will be Cole Cummings, Josh Bonzi, Christian Cummings, and Arrow. Not surprised. These guys have been showing a lot of strong pace in Monaco for a while. Especially the Red Bull boys have been, I heard, practicing a ton for Monaco. So we'll see what they can do as well. So far, our sector times are Arrow seems to be the strongest in Sector 1 and Sector 3, while the Alfa Romeo of... Oh yeah, and Hetrasi will be going back for another lap. The Alfa Romeo boys just seem to be stronger in the second sector.
Yeah, and just an update. Looks like Okage and Hudsu were the drivers who set times on intermediates as Hetrasy leave the pits. So there could be a protest against those two for setting laps on the wrong tire.
Yeah, definitely. Top boy Hetrasy here. Let's see if he has learned his lesson, if he's come on this out lap. And let's see what he can do on hopefully used set of mediums. Not mediums, softs tires, sorry.
Yeah, and this might be a good time to just take a little guide through the track here. Is he's coming up through Massenet and into the casino, and then the Maribeau section of the track, which has the famous hotel hairpin where the drivers drop all the way down to first gear and try and sneak their way around. It's quite a task. We should see it now in these big modern day F1 cars. Oh,
And he's damaged his front wing again.
yeah, maybe we commentate or cursed him, but that's not a great sign for Hetrasy. Maybe just struggling on those cold tires a little bit, but we have Gibbs behind him. Also on
Ben has joined the session.
Ben is in, so again, these laps don't matter. They might. I think we have 13 drivers. I don't know about you. I'm getting a bug where they're listed wrong. Where I'm missing a 12th driver.
I'm missing a 12th driver as well.
Yeah, so
lobby bugged? Oh, the 12th driver is no. Oh.
No, I don't think there's a 12th driver.
No, I think
just Cody's making a good game as well.
And Hetrasy's gonna go for the lap. He says, "Screw it, I'm gonna finish my lap."
I mean, if it's minimal damage and he just wants to make sure he gets a time down, then it can't be the worst. I mean, only missing an end plate isn't ideal, but we'll see if he can make it happen.
And make it happen, he most likely can, as we see Hetrasy making his way through Massenet and also the Casino Square. Very technical corners. You need to be very, very specific going through these corners as Hetrasy sets a... I cannot see, the times are not updating. Never mind. He's going through Grand
like
Hotel.
Fastest first sector on the map for me.
With the broken front wing, I'm not too sure about that. Might be a little bit of a glitch. Still waiting on times to update. But it's a decent lap.
Gibbs brought up the yellow flags in between sector 1 and 2 for a short moment. I don't see any wing damage, but might have had a bit of a moment that forced him to board his lap.
As Hetrasy also takes a little bit more of his plate out just to show some dominance from the Mercedes driver, showing that he doesn't need all of his wing to finish a lap. Very beautiful protest from the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better if he kept his wing for it, though. So, a little bit to work on. They'll have to be careful in the next sessions, because, of course, when you do that, you're not doing your tires any favors. You make it a lot harder to manage that. So, a 116.3 is an ideal, but given the status of his wing and the fact it was probably old tires, isn't totally unacceptable. And it's given him a time put down ahead of the drivers on intermediates. We have 4 minutes left in the qualifying session.
Yeah, and especially with a broken front wing, you're losing about a second or more a lap, and especially around Monaco, where your front wing is probably the most important thing. That's your spouse, that's your wife. You don't want to lose. You don't want anyone else touching it. You're losing about 1 to 2 seconds there. So we could have seen Hetrasy somewhere near the top 5. I mean, even with probably a 113.
I'm not sure that damage is worth. I mean, maybe it's worth 3 seconds here. I think it's hard to see. We'll probably have to wait.
2 seconds. 2 seconds for wing damage. A second for skill issue.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. The other thing to keep in mind is drivers are probably sandbagging right now. Not in the sense that, like, they need to hide how well they're doing, but more in the sense of don't take big risks on this first lap. Just get a time that'll get you through, and make sure you finish the session is what's important.
Just letting you know, our 12th driver, who was invisible, is now Stars FES, who's on a outlap himself.
I'm now missing a 13th driver.
I am also missing a 13th driver.
So,
I believe that 13th driver was...
Stars has moved around. There aren't missing drivers, I don't think.
Yeah, this is very weird. 3, 6, 9, 12... There's supposed to be 14 drivers in the grid right now, but I guess 15 if you count the invisible driver, who seems to be really well at hiding as everyone else decides to retire from the session. there's no threat of being kicked out, so everyone's got their times down. I mean, let's see what Stars FPS can do. I mean, driver with one of the highest potentials in his category, if not the highest. I mean, Stars has shown glimpses of really, really good pace, but he's been struggling to produce those types of numbers because it could be anything, you know, down to team, down to environment.
Pretty unlucky as he invalidates his lap. He's had incidents with a lot of drivers at the very beginning of a lot of the races, and honestly, in D4, fighting through the mid pack is less than ideal.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
some incident avoidance, and I think Stars can be up there in the top 6 or 7.
that is true, as Stars should just start another lap and go on if he wants to see what he can do. I mean, he's put 7 laps of fuel into the car. Not too sure about that. Maybe he forgot to put his fuel on low. Stars slowly making his way around Rivage, making his way into Massenet, getting nice and close to that left barrier, trying to get a really good exit into Casino, where Gibbs is actually following really close, coming into Mirabeau.
Yeah,
into the Grand Hotel.
Gibbs made a little bit of a mistake here. He probably assumed that Stars is going to be backing off here, but now he's stuck in Stars' dirty air, which is going to be hurting his downforce, making his lap that much harder.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if Stars should back off him. He is on his own hot lap.
Stars is by no means obligated to, but Gibbs just didn't leave the space he needed for his lap, as Stars now backs off as he invalidated his lap in the chicane. So good sportsmanship from Stars there to let Gibbs through. He definitely didn't have to do that.
Yeah, very true. Let's see what Gibbs can do so far. Lap look a bit dodgy. I think he got the fastest middle sector. We'll see if that's true or not. Gibbs, known to be a bit good of a qualifier himself, seems to be going to be in the 112s, high 112s. Actually, no, does a 13.1. A decent time from the AlphaTauri driver.
And honestly, if you cut out the dirty air, I think he might have dropped maybe 4/10 off of that. So, given that, a pretty competitive time from what we're seeing so far.
And a very competitive time, as Stars is also trying to finish another lap.
I mean, hey, why not?
I mean, he has the time, and he needs to practice.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's extra practice, so why not?
Indeed. I mean, nothing exciting from this qualifying. I mean, no one was going to get knocked out. Nothing exciting was going to happen. We knew nothing was going to happen. Just seeing where everyone's at, really. Seeing what people are looking at so far. See, we have a really defined top 4. Top 5, if you ask me. I see there's some drivers here who are shining to show pole, you know?
Yeah, but I think Hokage and Hudzi can come and upset. We don't know what Stars is capable of, really. He's going to be doing this lap on worn tires. So I think there's a lot to play for still, and of course, if you're sandbagging your lap, just getting through and putting a time down, then there's a lot more you can show. So I wouldn't count any surprises out yet. As Stars is going to be finishing his lap now, we'll see what time he can do. Looked like it was somewhere in the 13-14s from what I could see.
It was a 119.
14.836, so not a bad time from Stars.
That's so 119. Okay, my telemetry is broken. Jesus.
It tends to be.
Okay, so Hokage and Hudzi setting a lap on intermediate tires. The rest of your drivers setting times on... Wait, Air set a time on mediums.
Yeah, so did Christian Cummins and Cole Cummins, so...
Also, Josh Bonsley might not be the shining star I was thinking of. Illy, I thought everyone set a time on softs, but okay.
Yeah, and a 112 flat on mediums is a very good time from Aero. Same with Christian Cummins setting only 0.3 off of that.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're coming into Q2 with some actual... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, while we're loading through, I think it's a good time to talk about the championship battles right now.
Oh yeah, please, Seb, give us an update on it.
Yeah, so in the teams, Red Bull is leading from Ferrari on 197 points. So Ferrari's going to be looking to take a chunk out of that here. But of course, with Aaron Green so far back, that's going to give them a challenge. But him and Hudsey could really be fighting at it to get the points those teams need. Aston Martin in a third, just behind Williams. Siggy, of course, leading the drivers' championship from Pylon. Mercedes in seventh is also not where that team should be, so they'll be hoping for a good result here. And of course, this race is going to come down to finishing, so a lot to play for when it comes to the team's championship.
Yeah, a lot to play for indeed. I mean, Arrow definitely having a bit of difficulties these past races. Mercedes not getting too lucky with incidents and such, whatever. Arrow getting very unlucky in France, having his wheel issues, putting him down a couple of places. But I mean, well, let's see what he can do now. I mean, it's a great time to show skill. I mean, it's Monaco. I mean, it's truly where those little details of drivers and their cars come to light. I mean, if you're not comfortable with these cars already, 2 seasons in, it's not going to show good in Monaco. We're definitely going to see the drivers who have definitely gotten comfortable with these cars, definitely understand their vehicles well, understand how these cars work, understand how these cars understeer and oversteer, and, you know, all these things during braking and stuff like that. You know, Monaco definitely picks apart those who know and those who don't know.
Yeah, and also just another thing to that is do you know how to set the car up? Can you make the car do what you need it to? Because of course you need the car in Monaco complying to what you want it to do. The margin for error is none. So if you can't set the car up to do what you need it to, then you're also going to be seeing that here.
Yeah, I think other tracks you can brute force time out of, but Monaco you definitely need complete oneness with your car and your confidence. I mean, it's all about confidence here. Confidence to not put it into the wall. Confidence to know that every single step you're making is 100% and not 101%. And, you know, definitely keeping it away from the wall, but maximizing as much of the track width as you can. Just being extremely precise, but at the same time also, you know, just moving this tank of a car around this track. I mean, it's not, this car is not the prettiest to drive around here, but it is still an enjoyable experience when you put it all together in one lap.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a scary track with how low the grip is too, but we should have some drivers just starting to finish their laps now. Said that in the most confusing way possible, but looks like Kevin Magnussen coming around the final corner now is going to be the first driver, so we'll see what time he can do. Might be on a used set of softs, so 14.5, almost a 14.6. Josh Barnsley with a 13.3. Was that slower than the time he did in qualifying?
12.6 is what he did.
Yeah, so might have been a small mistake on that lap that led to that. But a lot of drivers opting to not go out early in Q2. Looks like Christian Cummins and Cole Cummins have, though. They're right next to each other. They're going to be fighting to see who can set the fastest lap in Q2 here.
As Cole Cummings making his way to the end of his lap, I believe.
1:11.3, that's an acceptable time. And Christian Cummins steals it by him for 1/1000th. That's incredibly close.
Yeah, that is incredibly close. Cole Cummings stealing pole by 0.2 of a second. I mean, very impressive from the not Ferrari driver, but reserve driver.
Yeah, and those are incredibly close times.
And not incredibly close, but incredibly fast. I mean,
yeah.
11s in Q2 is really good. I can imagine what they can do into Q3.
And
I mean, the Cole brothers known for definitely being very close in pace, and not only that, Red Bull drivers also known to be practicing tons for Monaco in general.
Yeah. and would like to correct that we're actually blind. Cole Cummins was faster by 0.2 and 1/1000th, just to give him the credit he's due.
I didn't know if you heard me correct you.
No, but I did hear you agree with me, and then I thought you were gaslighting me into believing my own delusions, so...
No. Anyways, let's see who else is on the lap here. No one else. It seems that half the rest of the grid is posing to do their laps a little bit later, as we see Stars, FPS, and Aero, also known as I'm not saying that name, but yeah, Arrow definitely making his way out in his out lap. Gibbs also making his way out in his out lap. And Stars FPS also making his way out the out lap.
Yeah, and Gibbs, who's on an out lap, just spun out of the final quarter, so he's put a dent in the time he's going to do.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful on exit out of that final corner. I mean, very treacherous. Especially since it's at night, it's a lot lower grip through that corner. Gibbs doing a really good job of missing that huge bump coming into Mirabeau. Keeping nice and tight to Grand Hotel, making his way towards Portier.
It looks like
Nice
he
and
might have actually backed off.
And
Tapped the wall a little.
out of frustration, maybe?
Maybe pushing if he didn't back off and I'm wrong. Looks like he's keeping the lap going.
Oh no, he has
maybe?
battery. He has battery. He's burning fuel.
Okay. Makes sense. I've heard that burning fuel into the wall is not a great strategy, but I don't know, maybe Gibbs will show us differently.
Yeah, maybe Gibbs can pull out something interesting here as he's slowly starting to make his way onto the lap. Hopefully he doesn't drift out of the corner. Doesn't. Gets a nice, good exit onto the main straight. Let's see what Gibbs can do. I mean, very strong driver in the early half of this season, but let's see what he can do in Monaco. Gets nice and close to that wall, making his way up the hill. Nice and close to that wall as well.
Yeah, coming into Casino now. Casino's really hard with all the bumps on the track. You can just see him behind Gibbs. It really changes how much grip the car has. So Gibbs did really well, but of course, I think there's traffic just ahead of him. That's Hudsey, so he's going to have to be careful that he doesn't... Sorry, that he doesn't get caught up by him. Looks like the Red Bull just lets him by. His Arrow's also coming across just to finish his hot lap now. We'll see what he can do. A 111 flat, so a really good lap from Arrow.
Impressive lap from the Mercedes driver. Let's see what impressive things our AlphaTauri boy of Gibbs can do as he's slowly negotiating his way through swimming pool. Now into the final two corners, very important corners here. Talk down more and people think it's less important, but really it's literally the ending of your lap, and if you screw that up, you screw up the whole lap, and he does a 14.2. A respectable banker.
Yeah, and considering he was on older tires and looked like he had a small collision with the wall, might do some damage there. A lap I think Gibbs can be happy with, and being just behind his teammate, he doesn't have a lot to bridge there to be faster, and of course, if there's anyone you want to be faster, then it's your teammate, unless it's Nathan Dunn.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see also, Hudsey and Hetrasy negotiating these couple of corners here. Hetrasy getting a really good entry into out of tunnel. I forgot what that corner's called, but the chicane. Now into swimming pool, getting a nice smooth corner entry. Keeping it nice and close to that wall. Hetrasy not having a bad lap here. Interesting to see what time he'll finish here. Getting nice and close to the exit of that wall. Also making his way onto the final corner, keeping it nice and slow, and slowly picking back up the pace.
The line looked good. It's just, was his throttle and brake application good? A 13.6, I'd say that's pretty decent.
Yeah, a very decent time, good time even, from the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, now I believe that still leaves him at risk. He's probably going to want to go out on another lap just to cover off. But, not bad, and I think getting to Q3 on your ZRL debut is something you can be happy about, so Hetrasy will be hoping he can pull that off, as Hudsey goes P4 with an 11.5, so he's right in the mix for the people fighting for pole position here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very interesting. These seems that it's going to be a battle between so far the two Red Bull drivers, Cole Cummings and Arrow. So it's going to be a nice, lovely Q3 when we get there. So far, Ben and Stars have yet to set a lap. Gibbs and Buffalo setting laps that are out of the 13s. Never mind. Someone just proved me wrong. Who was that? Someone just went up.
I think that was Hokage with the 113.4. Who's in a real
Ben.
And Ben just breaks into the 112. So you know, a solid lap from him. But this is what we were talking about earlier with Monaco really showing drivers' skill is the Cummins brothers, Arrow and Hudsey, are showing that they just have a little bit of an edge on the rest of the drivers in the field. So I think we're going to be seeing them being the drivers fighting for it in Q3.
Yeah, definitely. As surprisingly, I had a bit more anticipation for Ben to do well here. I think he's finish, if I'm not wrong, as Hetrosy also invalidates his lap. Not too sure, but I expected a bit more from Ben. Very quick driver early on in the season. Seems to be turning down the pace a bit over this off season. I mean, it's we'll see what happens here. I mean, remember we've had a month break, I think, if I'm not wrong, from racing.
Almost.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Seb. Almost a month of a break. Drivers have been relaxing and hanging out with their families, friends, and other individuals. You know, everyone's going to be a bit rusty coming back, you know? It's the first race of the off-season. Drivers aren't too you know, it's not like a back-to-back week thing where everyone's on it with practice and pace and comfort with the game. So a lot of people here have been, you know, practicing only this week. So interesting to see how some drivers have adapted quicker than others.
The other thing to think about is Monaco is a really weird track in this game. You know, you have a game that is a car that's just quite frankly really low grip and on the knife edge at all moments, and you put that on a tight track that has artificially low grip due to the track surface, and it makes it for a really odd driving experience, I think, and it just makes this a weird track that maybe this track doesn't work for you. And we can see anomalies from people who usually show pace, or maybe vice versa. People who don't usually show pace can really make this track work for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Monaco's a track you just hop in and jump in on, especially due to that artificially low grip that we do experience on this track. I mean, it's a track you really need to spend time on and really need to focus on. It's not a track you can just say, hey, I'm pulling up and I'm going to do what I normally do. It's a track where you're like, okay, I need to spend time on this.
And speaking of low grip, that's going to be one of the big things to watch out for in the race here, is how the grip changes over the tire life. You're going to see a big difference in the beginning of the stint and the end of the stint on how much grip these tires are showing. Of course, we're running the softest compounds Pirelli has to offer here at Monaco, so tire degradation is going to be huge. And you know, you might not see a lot of position changes from that, but what you will see is a couple drivers maybe losing the car because they're expecting the tires to have more than the tires can give, and that could cause a lot of upsets once we get into the race here.
Yeah, definitely. As we see Stars FPS setting at 13.1, an impressive time from the McLaren driver from what we saw earlier in the race.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that Stars is going to have enough time to set another competitive lap here, but Stars will be hoping that he can get him through to Q3 here. It's gonna be close. He has Kevin Magnussen, Florida, Buffalo Trace, and Gibbs all in the bottom four, hoping to make it out of Q1 here. And of course, I thought I just saw one of them improve, but
B-Boy Simba. B-Boy Simba's in the wall, and
so he won't be improving. He's very much at risk here. Yellow flags are out. Looks like he's just gotten moving. He's gonna be near Gibbs here. Did well to be out of the way. Not sure if Gibbs is on a hot lap, but B-Boy Simba's already down into P10, so he's very much at risk. B-Boy Simba could get eliminated in Q2 here, which is not what Ferrari needs. He needs to hope that no one behind him manages to improve.
Yeah, and I mean, Hedgesy also going on his lap now. I believe he's on his lap now. No, he's on his lap is starting this lap. Okay. So yeah, I mean, everyone behind B-Boy Simba is going to be having a chance to improve. B-Boy Simba himself not going to be able to improve. So let's see what these drivers can do. I mean, B-Boy Simba trying to make his way to the pits, but there's nothing to do. There's nothing to try. I mean, he's literally a sitting duck in this situation. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as we saw, Gibbs and Kevin Magnussen have not improved on their lap, but Hetrosy, the Mercedes driver, has a chance to get himself into Q3 now. Also, Buffalo Trace has a chance to get himself into Q3 now. As you see Hedrossi slowly making his way out of the tunnel,
Before
coming
that,
in.
Florida, don't know if he went faster, but he maintains P8. Sorry to interrupt you. We're also going to have Ben come across at P6. He jumps to P3 with a 111.2, so he's going to be right in this fight for pole position.
Yeah, definitely. Very impressive from the Alpine driver. Very expected from the Alpine driver, especially. I was very surprised to see him out of the top 3, but now he's back in it, so good to see Ben up there as Hedrossi slowly makes his way out of the final lap.
To defend his position. He does the same. Hedrossi makes it out.
Yeah!
So
Hedrossi makes it 12.3.
Hokage could be eliminated here. Buffalo manages to pull out a hat trick and go faster than a 13.4. Can Buffalo do that, though? Doesn't look like Buffalo can. So that's going to be heartbreak for Buffalo. He had a chance to make it out, but just wasn't quite able to. But of course, our drivers eliminated are Aaron Green for Ferrari, and that's very bad for Ferrari. Ferrari wanted to close up their gap to Red Bull in D4, and then Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, Buffalo Trace in the Alfa Romeo, and Gibbs in the Alfa Tauri. Those are the only 4 drivers who got eliminated in Q2 here.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, we have a nice close-knit battle for P1. I mean, the top 5 drivers definitely showing why they deserve these top positions here. I mean, everyone getting to the nice low 11s. No one broke into the 10 second barrier yet. We'll see what these drivers can do. I mean, so far, I think we have an interesting battle for P1 so far. I mean, we have 5 drivers who can definitely make it into P1. So, I mean, it's Q3. I mean, these drivers are up for their chance now. This is their final bout, their final challenge.
Yeah, it is, and they're going to be trying their hardest to do it, of course. Provisional pole starting in the front is crucial here at Monaco, so everything comes down to this now. They've managed through the past sessions, gotten through the final, and they need to show that they are the fastest drivers on the track. As we have one of the Red Bulls coming out very early, not sure which one that is. Stars and Florida just with them. Everyone's coming out immediately for Q3 here.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to go early. If you have more than 2 sets of tires, you can do three laps around Q3. If you, especially since they didn't really have a Q1, a lot of these guys may have an extra pair of tires, so they might be going out nice and early to use it. I mean, I think Air is one of those people who also go out early, so not surprising from these guys. They want to get lap times down as quick as possible and as immediately as possible.
Yeah, so just Ben and Hudsey staying in the pits right now. They probably don't have the freshest tires. They were definitely fighting a bit harder to make it out of their respective sessions, so they're probably going to be waiting till a bit later in the session, let all these guys put a bit more rubber down, and then get through it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a strong strategy, definitely. Let everyone else rubber up the track while you sit back and enjoy the extra grip.
Yeah, Josh Barnsley is going to be our first guy to set a time here. So, I mean, only Alfa Romeo driver to make it through to Q3. So he's going to have a bit of a burden to try and do well here. It's going to be very difficult for Buffalo to make up positions, quite frankly.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I just want to add one more thing, how beautiful Monaco is under the lights. I mean, it is not that fun to drive under the lights, but it is definitely very beautiful to see these cars go under the lights. Very pretty track, very pretty at night. Definitely makes Monaco better looking, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely to our benefit, and not the drivers though. But you know, not complaining sitting here, not in the driver's seat.
Definitely. As we see Josh Bonzi negotiating these couple of corners up ahead, he is getting that benefit of extra grip being in Q3. Also, if I don't say, a lot of these guys who set good TT times should be able to translate that good TT time into Q3, late into Q3 that is, because around late into Q3 is where you get that maximum grip offered by the track. The track feels most alive, for me at least, late into Q3. So Josh Bonzi doing a nice entry into the chicane, into swimming pool. Seems like a very clean lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. I'm not surprised if this is sometime in the 11s, maybe even a tight 10. We can see from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Didn't take a lot of curb in swimming pool though, so we'll see how that affects his lap time. But it looked pretty good.
Yes, he comes across the line. Josh Bonzi with a 11.9. Not bad from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Christian Cummins with an 11 flat though, so immediately showing his dominance. Florida with a 112.3, so a good improvement from him, but not quite enough to be up there. He stays ahead of Stars FPS, who only does a 12.8, so Stars will have a bit more to find on his run as there's a Mercedes driver going slow. Looks like that's Arrow. He brought up the yellow flags. Might have had a bit of a mistake on his lap. We'll see what he decides to do.
It doesn't seem to have any wing damage, but interesting, his tire temps are a bit off, so I don't know if you might need to slow down a bit and cool down his temps, but rear tire temps are a bit high.
If
he
should have the amount of stops. I think he only did one run in Q2. The play for him is definitely, if he's messed up this lap, is
he's
boxed
boxing
now. Yeah, throw on a new set of tires immediately, get right out there. The Mercedes pit crew really need to be out there and just do a race-style pit stop, but they'll drag him back into the garage just to throw some more fuel in. And try and get out and do those 2 extra runs. So I think our next driver across the line is going to be Ben. No, Ben's on an outlap, excuse me. Him and Hudsey waiting for people to throw some rubber on the track before they run out.
Yeah, Arrow himself needs to get out now to get his 2 laps in. Hopefully Hetrosy doesn't slow him down as he's coming into the pits.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a risk, but Mercedes will probably be ordering Hetrosy to slow down to let Arrow go out if he wants to risk it. But of course, if you don't get that final Q3 run, you can probably kiss your chances goodbye. But it looks like Arrow is going for that risk. That's what we like to see here. And Hetrosy did well to not get in Arrow's way. Arrow should have some clean air. We'll see if he keeps it as he begins his lap. Hopefully drivers, they shouldn't be coming out by then.
Okay, so I calculated a little bit of what these drivers need to do, and 5 minutes and 20 seconds is the latest you can go out for 2 runs, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, so assuming that's correct, which I never trust your math, but assuming.
I have a calculator. Trust the calculator.
Yeah, calculator's only as good as the person who knows what to put in it.
Wow.
But regardless, Arrow should be fine here. He just needs to avoid any mistakes on this lap. He's a Red Bull bringing out yellow flags. That is Hudsey. Hudsey makes sure to get out of the way, though. So, again, good from him. Stewart's reminding drivers that they need to make sure they're not impeding other drivers in this race, especially as there's not a lot of room.
Yeah, as Ben says at 13.8, but doesn't make the lap. I mean, he does invalidate, so let's see what Ben can do on his second run. Lower fuel, so let's see what Ben can do.
Yeah, and maybe Ben is going for the strategy of 2 runs to burn fuel. I really don't think that works with the tires, but if he does, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, definitely, as the Alpine driver experimenting with a little bit more than he should, due to it being in Q3 and this being your last few runs. Ben taking a risk here, but a calculated one at that, so let's see what Ben can do. Not gonna lie, it must be amazing to watch Monaco race from one of these buildings.
Oh, I can't imagine. I bet you at the hotel hairpin would be cool, because the cars slow right down, and then maybe just by Nouvelle or swimming pool would be really cool. I don't think there are any buildings by swimming pool. I'm not 100% sure, but if you own a boat, that's basically good enough. And if you have money to live in Monaco, you probably have boat money.
That is true. Wes Arrow gets extremely close to the wall. Jesus, Arrow's giving me a heart attack.
Yeah, but that's what Monaco is about, is how much are you willing to risk for your lap, and Arrow proving he's willing to risk a lot as he goes to the final corner, he keeps it clean, he gets good traction on exit, so what kind of time can he do? Can he beat Christian Cummins? He can, he does a 10.6, 4/10 faster. Arrow with provisional pole with 4 minutes left, he's going to be rushing back to the pits to see if he can throw on new tires and set his final lap. He cannot risk Christian Cummins on fresh tires being able to set a faster lap than him.
Yeah, and I mean, amazing time from the Mercedes driver of Arrow, 4/10 quicker than his rival, basically. I mean, Hudsey also screwing up his lap. We're not going to be able to see what he can do until the end of this race, end of this qualifying. Sorry. I mean, let's not forget about the battle for P5 as well. I mean, Florida, Hetrosy, and Stars in the mix for P5. I mean, Hedgesy, the new driver, definitely showing some pace, and Florida and Stars, you know, also there to make sure they, like, you know, get as much positions as possible. I mean, Florida doing an amazing job so far, keeping himself right there in the top 5. Amazing to see what that AlphaTauri driver can do with that wonderful helmet. I've never seen that before.
On Florida?
Rainbow. This looks really cool.
Oh, he's running Rainbow? I'm pretty sure Florida was running the fish wing for a while. I really appreciated that one, but the Rainbow is pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that many colors on a F1 game helmet.
Yeah, besides Lewis Hamilton's helmet that does have the rainbow flag to support Pride.
Yeah, still we rise and shit.
Yep, hashtag Team LH. Never give up. Anyways, Josh Bonsley on his lap. I think he invalidated. Yep, Josh Bonsley has invalidated his lap. He will not be able... Actually, no, Josh Bonsley gets in. He might have time. If Josh Bonsley...
he is a fresh set. That looked like Arrow, I think, just getting pushed into the pits. He's going to be under a lot of pressure to get out. I'm trying to see. Florida's on an out lap. He could actually force people who need as much time as they can to slow down a little. Hopefully Florida won't hit any traffic. If he gets traffic in Maribor area, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, definitely. You do not want to have any sort of... you don't have to want to avoid any drivers, especially during your qualifying lap. Any cost of any amount of time is bad.
Stars might be able to give him problems there. I think Stars is just close enough to make this work for Florida.
Yeah, but Stars is a very smart driver. I don't think he will not notice the AlphaTauri driver coming up behind him. I think Stars is definitely... I think Stars is booking it, actually. So Stars should be in the clear here as everyone's waiting to get out. I think that's Arrow heading out right now on his hot lap. Yep, that is Arrow. I think. No? Is that Hedgesy? No, it's Arrow. Yeah, Arrow's heading out on his hot lap.
Ben started his lap. He had a bit of a slide through Rascast, so it shouldn't have affected his lap, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what kind of time he can do. But I think Florida should be our first driver to set a lap here. He's going to be seeing if he can push for provisional pole, but it's much more likely that he's going to be trying to secure that P5 position, maybe push for P4, but that's still going to be great points for AlphaTauri if he can pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does get close to Josh Bonsley, anything solid, any solid improvement right now should help his chances of keeping in the top 5, which is nothing bad. I mean, and especially in Florida's position where he's been struggling to reach the top 10, so Florida definitely on a good roll right now. Let's see if we can pull out. Seems to be a high 11, maybe low 12. As Florida does not improve on his laps. It's a 12.06. Very unfortunate from the AlphaTauri driver, as he has Hokage, Hedgesy, and Stars, and even Ben and Hudson to worry about.
Here comes Ben. We'll see what he can do. He only manages a 1:15.1, so really not the kind of lap Ben wanted. He might try again on this lap. He doesn't have much to lose. Looks like he's continuing to push, so we'll see if he can improve and maybe be faster than Stars, but I don't know that he'll do much else here. But of course, our next driver across the line is going to be Cole Cummins. He is a Red Bull right behind him now. Oh, looks like Cole Cummins is just starting his lap. That's my bad, but of course, not sure which Red Bull. The Red Bull of Hudsey is real close. He's probably going to be getting just a little bit of dirty air, which he definitely doesn't need on his lap.
Yeah, definitely as a Rebel driver, using a lot of his battery earlier on and burning a lot of fuel. So let's see. Very interesting to see what he will go as he hits the wall. Not good for Hudsey, not helping his chances of trying to get out of the below 10th place. Maybe putting himself in the top 8, maybe, but definitely not helping his chances of pole right now. As you see Ben setting the fastest middle sector. Don't know if that's pseudo fast middle sector or not, but let's see what Ben can do.
Up into P6 with the 112.4. We could see Hokage and Hedgesy challenge that. Maybe Ben, no. Oh, Ben improves to P3.
Yeah, very impressive from the Alpine driver. After he doesn't have such a good lap, but apparently it was amazing.
sorry to interrupt. Here comes Arrow. He's looking for provisional pole here. He improves, not by much, still a 10-6, but he drops it down. And at Monaco, that could be the margin of error you need to get provisional pole here. Cole Cummins only manages a 1:10.8, so it's still 2:10s off of Arrow. But it's going to come down to Christian Cummins, who comes across, only does an 11 flat. So far, Arrow has defended his provisional pole. Hokage is the only driver who can challenge him, and Hokage had a moment and broke his wing, so Arrow is going to be our pole sitter here at Monaco, and that is going to be crucial for his chances of winning this race.
Yeah, very impressive from the Mercedes driver of Arrow. I mean, definitely came into this race swinging out of the gates and definitely finished swinging and standing. So we have Arrow setting a 10.6, very impressive from the Mercedes driver. I mean, a very strong time, not even for D4, but even for D3, that's a strong time. I mean, Cole Cummings in the Ferrari setting a 10.8. Christian Cummings may having a little bit of a mistake during his lap, but setting a 11 flat. Very impressive from the Red Bull driver. I mean, Ben coming in there, swinging hard. I mean, slipping around the second sector, but still making an 11 flat. Very impressive from the Alpine driver, Josh Barnsley, with an 11.3 Alfa Romeo driver. Very proud Buffalo Trace must feel to have him up there. Hudsey with a disappointing 11.7. I mean, he could have done better, and he has done better early in the session. And I mean, Florida, Hetrosy, Stars, and Hokage rounding out your bottom six, with all of them having mid-12s.
Yeah, that was Florida with a 12.3, Hetrosy with a 12.4, same as Stars, and then Hokage with a 12.5. So their pace is all going to be very similar, but sadly, I don't know if it's going to matter here at Monaco. But of course, what we're going to have to watch out for is, of course, the pit stop phase, and trying to undercut and play the strategy game right will be really interesting. But also, I think we're going to be seeing drivers who are faster than people in the race getting stuck behind them, getting really desperate and getting themselves into incidents. You can really just not stick your nose up in any corners but San Devad and maybe the chicane at the Bay. Or the Marina, sorry. So if drivers get desperate and try and put their nose where it doesn't belong, I think we're going to be seeing incidents here.
Yeah, I mean, there's only about 14 drivers on the grid, so hopefully all these 14 guys can keep it clean. I mean, realistically, from what I've practiced, there's literally no way to overtake cleanly around this track. It's near impossible. Someone has to make a mistake for you to even have a chance of getting up on somebody. And that's the point about Monaco, is 100% concentration, making sure you don't make those mistakes so you don't give anybody a chance. But that doesn't matter right now because the lights are going out, and all these drivers need to give their best at this start. And let's see, 3, 2, 1, and the lights are off. Hetrosy getting a really good start, going up right now. Arrow getting an amazing start, sending it. Oh, as Cole Cummings hits Cole Cummings hits Christian Cummings into the wall. The brothers collide. I mean, Arrow getting a fantastic start. I mean, Hudsey making his way up, Florida making his way up. B-Boy Simba making his way from P13, P14 to P6. I mean, what an incredible start.
Yeah, that was a really good start from Aaron Green. That's what he needs. He's gotten himself ahead of Hetrosy. He's on the hard tire, so that's going to really hurt Hetrosy here. Of course, all the cars just backed up through the hotel, through the hotel hairpin. Sorry. But yeah, Arrow has kept his lead here, which is crucial. Most drivers opting to start on the mediums. We can go ahead and check here who didn't, but yeah, getting that good start on the line. But of course, Christian Cummins has lost out massively, and this is huge. Excuse me, this is huge for the constructors. This could be an amazing haul of points for Ferrari if things stay as they are now. And of course, I really don't have hopes that Christian Cummins is going to be able to fight his way back up.
Yeah, and definitely unless some of these guys have incidents ahead. I mean, Cole Cummings putting his brother into the wall, that's not going to help his chances in the ticket department later on in this session. So Arrow has nothing much to worry about besides keeping ahead of Cole Cummings, and maybe hopefully Cole Cummings will be a bit slower than Arrow, therefore slowing down Hudsey and Josh Barnsley behind. But he doesn't even need that because Josh Barnsley and Hudsey are already slowing down the rest of the medium runners. So what can happen?
Yeah. Arrow probably just needs to throw some battery here and try and cover off, make sure Cole doesn't manage to get any DRS. Not that it should give him a good run. Dirty Air is so bad through the final corners. But, excuse me. Just to make sure he can't try and get a run and send a dive bomb on him. So our drivers opting to start on the hard tires were Hudsey, Josh Barnsley, and Aaron Green. I don't know if the hard tires are the right call. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me. It just seems like you sign yourself up to get undertaken. And of course, the medium tire strategy at the end, I think, really only works if you can make overtakes on other drivers, which you really can't do here at Monaco.
I mean, let's just not forget about Aaron Green, also known as B-Boy Simba, the B-Boy Simba, making his way to P6 out of such a bad position. I mean, I don't know what happened in that midfield, but something did happen for Aaron Green to take the most out of that opportunity. I mean, with the hard tires as well. I mean, getting a great start is hard to be seen. Get the
Yeah,
plan?
that was the start he needed. And Hetrasy is just behind him in the Mercedes. His job now is just going to be to put as much pressure on Aaron Green as he can. Make him push those hard tires to stay ahead of you, and hopefully he'll spin himself. But of course, Hetrasy can come under pressure from Star's FBS just behind him in the McLaren, and being the only McLaren, it's going to be crucial that he gets as many points for the team as he can.
And not only that, I need everyone to remind themselves it's Monaco. And not only is the driver required to be at their maximum potential, but also the engineers. I mean, call-outs, checking times, pit stop windows, all these things. The engineers right now, who we don't get to see each race weekend, is working countlessly and hard right now to make sure their drivers benefit the most from pit stop strategies.
Yeah, and
So
the big
not
thing
only is
here-
this the battle of the who's the most confident, who's the most focused, but who has the best engineer to give them the right strategy? Who do the drivers trust to put them on the right strategy?
Yeah, and the big thing about what the strategist needs to do is make sure they're pitting their drivers into clean air. Pitting early doesn't do you any good if you're sat behind traffic at the back that you can't clear. So you need to make sure that when you come out of the pits, you're right in front of those drivers who can put you at risk.
Yeah, and I mean, what an interesting battle so far. I mean, the grid seems to be separating a bit as drivers spread out pace-wise. I mean, you could be fast in qualifying, but being fast in the race is something else. I mean, Stars FBS might be getting backed up into B-Boy Simba anytime soon, so that's not going to be doing well for the McLaren driver. And also the Mercedes driver is keeping it nice and close to the back of Stars.
Yeah, and Stars managed an overtake on him. He's come under pressure from Hokage, so hopefully him getting overtaken by Stars doesn't put him in some negative momentum.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
oh no. Oh, Wes Gibbs puts it in the wall! Oh no! Unfortunate from the AlphaTauri driver. He has to dodge a couple of people, but he's going to be having to either eat the fact that he's just lost the front wing or go into the pits, but he seems to be taking the ladder and going into the pits. I think that's Buffalo Trace also with some front wing damage as well, so not good from the AlphaTauri driver. Oh, as Ben's trying to make an overtake on Kevin Magnussen, makes the overtake.
Yeah, a real shame we're missing the 2 overtakes that are going to be happening tonight. But yeah, that's good from Ben. I think Sandoval is really the only place you can make an overtake. But of course, with the way the final corner is, it gets very low grip as the car lifts as you go downhill. And when you're trying to follow a car in that, it's very difficult to get a run.
Yeah, definitely. As we see Cole Cummings and Arrow holding about a second together. Not bad from these two drivers. I mean, these two drivers are going to be looking to keep themselves away from time penalties. You do not want time penalties around this track. And especially, you don't want to be pushing the car too hard with a point where you're going to hit a wall. You don't want to do that. You don't want anything like that. You just want to keep it nice and clean and nice and slow. Remember,
No,
not nice and slow in the sense of being slow, but nice and slow in the sense of keeping out the wall, yes. These drivers need to practice caution as the Ferrari driver of Cole Cummings is running only a lap of fuel. I don't know about you, Seb, but I know a lap of fuel won't get you around this track.
An extra lap?
Yeah, 1.
I mean, we'll see. It could if he manages well, maybe. I also don't trust that telemetry isn't broken. You know, we've had
this is me
issues
looking at
where,
his car.
Oh, that's you looking at his car?
Yeah, I can see everyone's lap fuel. And also the Red Bulls have the same 1 lap of fuel, probably 1.1, 1.2, no, 1.1, sorry. Since they started the races, you lose 0.10 or whatever. You know what I mean? Anyways, it seems like really low.
If they're running, if multiple people are running that, I bet you they can make it work. But Cole Cummins is doing everything he needs to do right now. He's just keeping Arrow under pressure, keeping relatively close. He's going to be closing in. I don't know if he'll be able to make a move here, but he's just going to be forcing Arrow to push as hard as he can, and that can lead Arrow to let mistakes creep in.
Yeah, but I mean, not only that, but I'm telling you right now, Cole Cummins is making quite a few mistakes himself. I mean, as he just almost taps the wall, I think Eric can rest assured that whatever he's doing right now is good, and he just needs to keep doing it. Cole seems to be having to pull a lot more from his bag than he needs to, and definitely getting really close to these walls and having to slow down more than he has to.
But if
so
you're
Cole definitely being the driver.
What more can you do? And of course, the two of them need to be careful of Hudsey behind on the hard tires.
I gotta be RB.
It's unlikely, but Hudsey might manage to make something work in the pit stop strategy. He should get clean air when the two of them hit, so maybe he can push ahead. I'm not certain that'll work. But yeah, we're at the point in Monaco where, excuse me, we're at the point in Monaco where things are starting to quiet down. The field is starting to spread itself out quite a bit, just with dirty air. Really, Josh Barnsley's coming to the pits. He must have gotten damaged. It's a bit too early to pit for medium tires, but yeah, our closest fight is around P5 right now, down to P9, but I don't think we'll be seeing too many moves happen here unless some mistakes creep in. So looking at our position changes for tonight, Hudsey's moved up 2 positions, Florida also up 2. Aaron Green moved up 5 on the start, and that being on hard tires, that was an excellent start from him. Some great reaction times. Star's also up 2. Hedges's where he started, so, you know, for your 0L debut at Monaco, I think staying where you started is pretty good, and assuming nothing goes poorly, he should be able to keep it there. He just needs to be careful staying in this dirty air as the tires start wearing to not lose the car at all. As Aaron Green goes wide, Star's FPS is getting a run into him in Maribel. Trying my best to commentate this is you don't have a view of it. Of course, Luke, who's in control of F1 TV direction, is blind, but Stars has made a move on Aaron Green. Aaron Green just made a little bit of a mistake, and it gave Stars enough, and it actually looks like Stars in those medium tires is immediately starting to pull away, so he's going to be seeing if he can't start closing up that gap to Florida. 14 seconds is a lot to ask for, but maybe if Florida makes a mistake here, Stars can try and catch up to him by the end. As that looks like Christian Cummins in P10 with a 3-second time penalty for track limits, so he's pushing very hard to try and make up for lost time, but those time penalties are going to be hurting him in the end. Of course, Ben ahead of him, he's trying to catch up to this train fighting for P5. Yeah, sadly, I don't think we'll be getting Stroll tonight, which is a real shame, as Hetrasy just has a little look on the back of Aaron Green. Looks like those medium tires might be going into a bit of a sweet spot, which you wouldn't be expecting. That or those hard tires are having a hard time right now. But hopefully Hetrasy doesn't get too desperate here and only goes for intelligent moves, because you really don't want to do something stupid and risk your own front wing. And it is at this point in the race that I start to deeply miss my mistress qualifying at Monaco, because this race, while having something to offer in a couple laps, right now is pretty much a snoozer. So, you know, at some point, clock out for 5 minutes, clock back in, and we should see some action happening. Of course, I don't have my emotional support loop locked clear, so I'm really just in maximum distress right now. So much so that I'm pretending to talk about my feelings on broadcast, just to fill time, because, I mean, what is happening? The only thing which you can't see is Hetrasy right on the back of Aaron Green, but, Yeah, I'm not sure that a move is going to be happening here. It's just so hard to get close behind cars at this track.
Okay, I'm back, Seb. What's up? What's going on?
Nothing, actually. Stars FPS made an overtake on Aaron Green after he made a mistake in Casino, but other than that, not much. So we're just kind of waiting for people to start pitting. That's Cole Cummins and Arrow into the pits, so Arrow's gonna stay ahead here, but this is where it starts. The real question is, where is Arrow gonna come out? Is he gonna have a car right in front of him? It's gonna be close. He will be just by Stars FPS. I think he's gonna come out ahead, so this has turned out well for Arrow, but of course, Cole Cummins on the same strategy.
Cole Cummins might be behind Stars.
Be relatively even here. Oh! This could be it. Who comes out ahead? Stars is ahead of Cole Cummins. This is disastrous for Cole Cummins.
Yeah, very disastrous.
Arrow needs to get heated into those tires and start pushing now. He's about 10 seconds to build up as much time as he can on Cole Cummins and really take the pressure off himself. As that's Florida into the wall as Ed Gibbs retired. So not a great lap for AlphaTauri here on lap 11. Good news for Florida is that this is a pit window for his tires. So he's going to come in, slap on the hard tires, and go to the end on those, hopefully not damaging the front wing anymore. It'll be interesting to see. He's only damaged his end plate. Does he think it's worth it to replace it, or is he going to not replace the wing and try and defend track position? He should be able to here. It's not very significant damage, so I don't think there would be any ruling that he would be required to repair the wing.
He's in a safe spot right now. He's 5 seconds and 10 seconds away from the drivers around him. He is going to pit, though. Coming in nice and slow into the pits. Very safe from the AlphaTauri driver. Very good from him, making sure he doesn't get any 5-second penalty for saying anything stupid. As Arrow takes provisional pole. I mean, Star is staying out, and Cole Cummings right behind him is not a good thing. If Cole Cummings has any sort of pace ahead of Stars on these medium tires, he's going to be struggling against Stars, because Stars is going to be holding him up.
Yeah, and I mean, the dirty air on his outlap, but this is just going to let Arrow start cruising and try and get away from Cole Cummins. So Arrow's come out in the ideal position here, and he just needs to make sure that he's closing that gap on Hudsey, and things should be fine for him.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, this battle seems to have spread out a bit, as Cole Cummings is actually gaining a lot of time on Stars ahead. Stars will definitely be doing his own race right now. The pit strategy puts you at lap 16 to 20 is actually the normal pit window, so Stars and Cole will definitely be looking to I think Stars just hit the wall.
Stars just hit the wall.
I don't see
no
damage.
So he should be fine, but definitely a bit of a scare. But of course, as long as he's staying out, he's
as he goes in.
Oh, he comes in just as Cole Cummins gets behind him. So we'll see how much Cole Cummins has lost here. He's back 5 seconds, so he's lost about 4 seconds and 3/10 on Arrow. So this has turned out really well for Arrow, and Arrow's closing that gap on Leo Hudson. I'm not 100% sure what pit loss is here, but I'm pretty sure it's greater than 13.4 seconds. And this is just going to allow Arrow to manage his race, make sure he takes the necessary risks, but, you know, just finish, and he should be good.
Yeah, and I mean, also, hopefully, Hudsey pits in the next 8 laps or 10 laps, because I think Arrow should be catching up to him in about that time. Also, Hudsey should be... actually, Hudsey's not in a bad position to be in the top 5 right now. Hudsey, if he keeps this pace up and pits at around lap 20, he should be able to be right behind B-Boy Simba and in front of Ben.
Yeah, that should be a good position for him to come out, and I think he will be pitting towards then. Mercedes isn't a huge threat for Red Bull in the championship right now, so I imagine they're not going to be trying any shenanigans here. So maybe he'll stay out to try and hold up Cole Cummins, but that would really surprise me. Yeah,
definitely, as Christian Cummings kind of in traffic. Not in traffic, actually. He's racing Hokage Roldy right now. Very unfortunate contact between the two brothers. Very unfortunate. Cole Cummings braking a bit too late. It happens around Monaco. Taking out his brother, but definitely giving Arrow a good gap at the beginning of this race. But Arrow also showing the pace he has, making a gap himself further into the race. As Hokage rolled, he might be making a... oh, as he smashes into the back of Buffalo!
Oh, that's bad. Buffalo into the wall. Trying to see. I don't see any damage. Probably a bit yellow. But I think Hokage just locked up into the back of Buffalo. So really unfortunate. Buffalo was just a passenger to that. But of course, very good for Christian.
Oh, B-Boy Simba in the wall.
Who's in the wall?
B-Boy Simba.
Oh, yeah. Sure is. That looks like he's lost an end plate. If I'm him, I'm staying out and just defending track position. But he does need to pit for mediums at some point, and he picks up a track limit. It's a very unfortunate place to get it.
Yeah, B-Boy Simba will need...
From it.
Yeah, B-Boy Simba doesn't seem to have much wing damage. Just lost an end plate. Not too bad, but he needs to definitely be cautious about slowing down any of the drivers ahead of him. As Ben comes into the pits, lap 13, he's going to be losing his position to Stars FPS, I believe. Yep, he loses to all the drivers ahead of him, being Stars, Florida, Hetrosy, and well, not B-Boy since he went into the wall. Very unfortunate from the Ferrari driver. He was doing so well.
He might even lose position to Christian Cummins here. I think he is. He's just going to be keeping Hokage behind. Of course, if Hokage hadn't gone into the back of Buffalo Trace, he'd probably be behind both of them too.
Yeah, as Hokage makes his way right to the back of Ben, who is on cold tires. So let's see if Hokage can make a bit of a move to these next three corners. Ben is going to have to go really slow, and Hokage is going to have nice warmed-up tires. So Hokage should be pushing it right now. A lot of good overtaking opportunities are up in these next few corners, so he's going to have to close that distance. Hokage might be a bit reluctant after what happened to Buffalo and him, so we'll see if the driver takes a more cautious route or a more aggressive route. Let's see. As Ben just kicks the rear and just does a little drift to show dominance probably from the Alpine driver.
Yeah, cold tires here get rough, and if you just give her a bit too much juice, she's going to kick on you. But he should be feeling that out now and managing his tires, so shouldn't be too worried about it, as both drivers take a nice amount of curve in the chicane there.
Yeah, and I also like to mention that Arrow has clawed down his delta from 10 seconds to 9. I mean, not 10, but 18 to 9. Clawing down about 9 seconds of time to Hutzi. So Hutzi's definitely having to think about pit stop loss. And not going to lie, if Hutzi pits around the next 3 laps, he's going to have a good attempt at getting not getting pole, sorry, but getting pole position for this race. So Hutzi should definitely be chatting with his engineer to see what he can do, because the longer Hutzi stays out, the closer Stars gets, and pit loss time here is around 21 seconds, so Hutzi has about 5 seconds to play with, but besides that, he should be pitting soon.
Yeah, for sure. And Arrow with the fastest lap. While we're sitting here, people in chat have asked me to have a bit of an intervention with you.
Oh, what's up?
We'd like you to explain why you say "I mean" like twice in every sentence.
I mean, I don't know. It's just when I'm broadcasting, I need to fill in the void when I'm thinking. I just say "I mean."
I see. Well,
so like I'm like I mean.
Let me introduce you to a book by me entitled Dictionary of Filler Words. It's truly beautiful, and I think what will really ascend your broadcasting is filler phrases, where you just have entire like sentences memorized that you just say.
And it's just like subconscious at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And they're there to like be very pretentious and make you sound better than the other person. I mean, it's amazing. Like, actually, me telling you to stop using bad fillers is one of those of mine. So I think I could really teach you all the tricks there are.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be definitely taking some classes by Seb Sebington himself on how to look better than everyone else. Seb, also known to be very slightly narcissistic in some ways, but to his own benefit.
I am the best narcissist. Thank you very much.
Yes, as coming down to the few laps around lap 19, Hutzi has still yet to pit. I think his pit window is somewhere around lap 22, says the game. as we have a car going. Who's that? I think that was Ben. Oh no, it was.
Not sure.
I saw a yellow flag.
Flags out. I'm not sure what it was, but nothing seemed
the Red Bull
to
might have a
change.
bent end plate. The Red Bull might have a
Oh.
bent end plate. Yeah.
The gap to arrow didn't change too much, so this might.
No. 8. P8.
Ah,
Christian.
interesting.
Yeah, I think I saw a bent end plate. Correct me if I'm wrong. Moving on to any other close battles. Hetrosy is getting really close to the back of Florida. Hetrosy definitely getting a bit impatient. Probably a little bit quicker than the AlphaTauri driver. Definitely wanting to show that pace. Stars, FPS. I think all these guys around Hetrosy have yet to pit. Not have yet to pit, but have pitted. And just waiting around. I mean, you can't really do much around Monaco. There's no way to really get a clean overtake going where both cars can safely do their thing. But Oral Era has joined the session. Not too sure about that one. Oral Era, this is the wrong division, buddy.
I think he's going to be taking over the AlphaTauri of Gibbs, and just seeing how fast he can take a car without front suspension around Monaco.
Definitely could be a little bit faster than our guys, but we have yet to see that as he has left the session. I mean, let's just add one thing, dude. I think Monaco is definitely one of those races you need to check out before it's removed from the calendar. I think as a spectator race, it's really good. I don't know how much it costs, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the spectacle of Monaco.
Ooh, Hutsy taps the wall.
That's Hetrosy trying to make a move, or Josh Barnsley trying to make a move on Hetrosy. Hetrosy defending really well in the hairpin.
Yeah.
Just keeping him behind, of course. Josh Barnsley just has the maybe better tires at this point. Those pretty old mediums, but
yeah,
Hetrosy's going to be fighting to keep him behind.
Yeah, Josh Barnsley uses almost all of his battery to catch up to Hetrosy. It's not going to work. Still we rise and still we block as Hetrosy's making his way and keeping P6. Very impressive from his first debut as a Mercedes driver, so hopefully he can keep this up if he stays safe. Oh, as Josh Barnsley taps the wall.
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna look
great.
good for his front wing.
But yeah, what we were talking about earlier, I mean, Monaco is great. It's the closest thing we have to the French Grand Prix now, but I think classics like Monza, Spa, Suzuka, I think those are just a bit more special. I mean, obviously Monaco is a huge classic, but you just miss out on some of that wheel-to-wheel action you might see at some of those other races.
I mean, but truly, do you get any wheel-to-wheel action? I mean, maybe at Spa at the end of the long straight.
Spa and Monza, you definitely see cars doing things, and I don't know if there are grandstands at Kemmel, but like there are grandstands near Eau Rouge. I'm pretty sure that has to be very, very impressive. I know there are people who stand on the grass.
Oh, Josh Barnsley, so close to killing himself. Jesus, we do not support self-harm in the CRL broadcast. But Josh Barnsley, Jesus, as Christian Cummings makes the overtake. Christian Cummings making his way from last to P7. Impressive from the Red Bull driver, showing he definitely had pace to do something in this race. But
yeah,
not really much to do now.
On mistakes of other drivers is huge. I mean, that's all he can do.
Yeah, so Hetrosy's... Oh, he goes into the wall!
Classic commentator's curse.
Oh, Jesus.
You hate to see it.
Okay, let's stop looking at him and let's start looking at not Hetrosy. Florida, yeah, Florida. Florida having a nice little bat here with stars. Two good friends. Oh, that's
Hetrosy in the wall. I'm kidding.
Oh my...
You set me up for it.
Okay, as Stars in Florida, good friends outside of the league, and maybe even the bestest of friends wheel to wheel, both very clean drivers. Let's see what they can do. I mean, Florida showing a little bit more pace due to him having a little bit fresher tires. We'll see what he can do. Kind of backing off a bit now, kind of struggling. A lot of understeer from the AlphaTauri boys. Very surprising. Stars looking to have a little bit more rotation available to him than the car behind him. And a lot of these things can be due to setup.
Yeah,
and also driving styles.
For me personally, getting that front end to work around here is the key to driving well. So if Stars managed to cook up something that let him do that, then power to him.
Yeah, I hope I'm not thinking of what is happening, but Hutsy's pit window has opened up to him, and he is losing more time for himself than staying out right now. So hopefully I don't think what's happening is happening, but hopefully we'll see him pit sometime soon.
I mean, with it being night Monaco, maybe he's doing something weird where he's gone super high pressures and is going to try softs at the end. That would
wouldn't
just
make
be
sense.
Interesting to see, but I'd be surprised. Well, I think we'll see him pit soon.
Yeah.
Arrow's going to be hoping it's within the next couple.
he pit.
And there he
Yeah.
is. Us and our cosmic wisdom, we knew.
Oh yeah, we always knew. As Hokage's doing an amazing job of getting out the way. Thank you, Hokage. We love to see drivers who understand their rules and understand their track. Very good from Hokage of getting out of the way. Not many drivers do that, but let me stop you right here. Hutsy's on. Oh no. Okay, that's a lie. I thought he was 2 seconds behind Cole for a second. I was like, he might have a chance to catch up to Cole, but never mind. He actually no, he still might have a chance. He's 7 seconds behind.
Might have a chance. Yeah, we're just over halfway done with this Grand Prix. It'll be close, and then will he be there in time to make an overtake? Probably not.
Not too sure.
I know better than anyone that he shouldn't count on the last lap overtake.
Yeah, definitely. As Cole Cummings seems to be really struggling. He's used a lot of his battery to keep up to Arrow, who has 80% battery. I mean, I think Arrow's he's being chilling. He's being chilling right now, as Cole Cummings is trying to use as much of his battery to make up that gap to Arrow. Maybe something can happen. You never know. Hutsy on the fresh set of mediums. Can he claw 5 seconds to Cole? Yes, I think he can. I think we might see some Hutsy on Cole action if Hutsy can keep it out of the wall. And Christian Cummings definitely making his way up to Hetrasy, clawing about a second over about 3 laps. So the Mercedes driver is definitely going to be a bit under pressure by the Red Bull driver, who might have a little bit of front wing damage.
Yeah, interestingly though, Hetrasy is really pushing his battery. So.
Kevin Magnussen's around.
That's Kevin Magnussen DNF'd. Oh no, sorry, looked like his suspension was swaying, but he's still in. He waxed his right rear, but he's made it around. Looks like just an end plate loss. So this reduced damage is really doing drivers favors here.
Definitely a good thing that it's keeping drivers in the race instead of out of the race. We don't want to see too many of these guys having to hang up the gloves so early after so many laps. It's not a good feeling doing all of it and then not finishing, you know. Seb might not be too knowledgeable about this, but definitely some of these drivers don't want that to happen to them.
No, definitely nothing happened in Division 2 Melbourne last season.
Yeah, we don't know.
No, I mean nothing eventful happened in that race with me.
Yeah, nothing eventful. Oh,
yeah,
Hutzy has already clawed about 2 seconds of time to Cole.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's a lot. So Hutzy really turning the afterburners on now.
Yeah, he's dumping battery.
He is pushing his battery, so he did grab fastest lap. He might keep that to the end unless Kevin Magnussen decides to try and grab fastest lap. But
yeah, definitely. Also, Christian Cummings getting very close to the back of Hetrasy as someone's having a yellow flag. I don't know who. I think that's a Haas. I don't know.
It
Not too
was
sure.
So assume nothing major. Yeah, we're just kind of in a point of the Grand Prix where things are kind of stable. I think we might see.
We're definitely going to see a Hutzy on Cole action.
On Hetrasy here, but other than that, and probably if Cole is there and looks like he's really trying to go for it, it's probably best for Hetrasy to let him go, follow him as long as he can, which given Cole's pace might not be too long. As he hits the wall, this could be the door Cole Cummins needs, but it's not, and just cruise to the end. He has a 11-second gap to Ben behind. Take the P7. It's where you started. It's a really good place to end.
Yeah, definitely, as Christian Cummings is making his way up to Hetrasy, both on fairly used tires. No one has really the tire to play with to overtake. No one really has the grip to overtake, so interesting to see what these two drivers do for the next couple of laps. Florida getting close to the back of Stars, not really making it anywhere near him. Stars finishing in a relatively good position. I mean, P4 I mean, he has no room to complain as Styles gets a 3-second time penalty, which hurts him severely. I mean, this helps Florida, Hetrasy, and Christian Cummings behind him.
Yeah, Hetrasy might actually have the push now.
No, I'm sorry. Christian Cummings has a 3-second time penalty as he screws up his exit and loses all his time.
Well, he's definitely shown he has the pace to claw back, and with, what, 13 more laps to go, I think he's capable of it.
Yeah, and not only that, but with 13 more laps to go, Cole needs to do something about Hudsey, who's just cutting the corner right there. Might have another warning on his name. Let me take a quick peek at the warnings real quick. That's a good idea. Okay, so we have, let's see, let's get it over here. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so we have Arrow with 0 warnings, Cole Cummings with 1 warnings, and Hudsey with 2 or 1 warnings. I don't know about that. And Stars FPS with 4. Florida and Hetrasy both on 2 warnings, and Dr. Sogan on 5. So Dr. Sogan might be getting a penalty here. As, oh, Hudsey makes a big mistake, almost cost himself a front wing there. Getting a bit too aggressive on exit there. Hudsey getting a bit impatient, not helping his chances on getting P2. Hudsey, you need to be patient to make this overtake, man. Can't be risking it. You do have the tire advantage. You do have that extra grip. You just need to know where to use it and not try to make the overtake too abruptly. Yeah, Cole Cummings is in the grasp of Hudsey, who still is pushing his foot down and expecting more to happen.
Yellow flags are out. The driver's dropping down the position. That's Florida in the final quarter, slowed down, so Hetrasy and Cole Cummings have pushed past him. That puts Cole Cummings up into P6. But a mistake from Florida has cost him a couple positions. Not what he wanted. He was running really well up in P5, but P7 will still be a good result for him in AlphaTauri.
Yeah, definitely. As Christian Cummings seems to be stopped making a gap up to... He has stopped making a gap up to Hetrasy, so interesting bat there. Hetrasy needs to stay about 3 seconds towards Stars if he wants to even look at P4, which is an amazing finish for one of his first races. And I mean, Hudsey has no chance of winning this race anymore. He's being held up. I mean, it is Monaco. What do you expect? I mean, hard medium strategy is better, but I mean, if someone's in front of you, they don't have to give you any sort of room for overtaking. Cole Cummings just needs to sit in the middle of this track, and he has P2.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to if Cole Cummings ends up making a mistake with Hudsey right behind him, but Hudsey has to make sure he plays the patient game.
Yes, Cole Cummings now has 2 warnings instead of 1. This might encourage Hudsey to back off a bit, maybe. Just sit in that 3-second gap. Be happy with P2. I mean, there's no chance he makes up 12 seconds now, because the medium tire should start wearing off now around 10 laps. So the Red Bull driver has been taking away his chance of winning.
Well,
did he have a chance of winning?
Not if Arrow sneaks in or starts to drop in pace. Arrow's of course really abusing his battery right now. He's trying to maximize the gap he has. So
yeah, definitely. As these two guys are fighting, Arrow doing a great job of managing himself. So far, it looks like the batteries of the guys who had 1 lap of fuel have stayed at 1 lap of fuel. I mean, the fuel of those guys. Yeah, no one has really changed. Okay, so maybe I was wrong about the fuel.
Must be.
Either that or the drivers aren't pushing hard enough to expend the amount of fuel they need to.
Or managing the fuel. No need to make such brash assumptions.
Oh, Hudsey's getting really impatient as he's making tons of mistakes trying to get past Cole.
It's very hard to follow, though, so understandable. What's important is that he isn't making impatient decisions like trying to make an overtake that'll never happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think Hudsey can definitely make up his gap and definitely try to make an overtake, unless he just also tries to force Cole Cummings into a mistake, which is very possible. I mean, he has 2 warnings.
Hudsey needs to sit at 3 to 4 tenths, charge his battery, and just sit there and be ready to capitalize. He could start thinking around lap 35, lap 36, alright, maybe it's time for a desperate move to snag P2. But
yeah. As Cole makes a mistake, so now should be an opportunity where Hudsey, I think, close enough to make a move. Would Cole be letting him? No, Cole will not be letting him. As Cole basically says, sorry, this is my half of the track. You don't get any. As
but Leo
Hudsey
alongside, that's going to put him out. Oh, Hudsey's ahead.
A rare overtake.
That was a really good overtake from him, though. Smart. Cole Cummins just tried to defend the inside line, but it didn't quite work. Hudson managed to get the drive on the outside, which is very impressive. Kept his nose in, and just managed to push ahead.
Yeah, definitely very sad to see Cole coming with such a strong race. Conceding a position to Hudsey, who definitely is putting on a very strong race, throwing out very strong strategy. I mean, hard memes didn't look so good until now. I mean, Hudsey definitely showing good form.
And Hudsey's going to see if he can't get to work on this 14-second gap to Arrow. With 9 laps left, I think it's within the realm of possibility if Arrow makes a mistake, so he'll see what he can do.
As Arrow's expending a lot of his battery right now, trying to maintain that gap, pushing really hard. Yeah, so Cole Cummings coming into the pits, going on the soft tires, presumably. Yep, going on the soft tires, trying to get that fastest lap away from Hudsey. I don't know if these tires can last 9 laps, Seb.
Yeah,
the way is really high.
A lot of laps, and he had a massive gap, so it's not like it was important. I'm not sure why he'd throw the softs on that early, but hopefully it'll work out for him. Otherwise, we could see Ferrari in shambles once again. I mean, this year is supposed to be their year, and maybe it's off to a bad start. I'm kind of scared, Luke.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried as well. As we see, let's see where the gap is as soon as he passes.
Yellow flags out in Sector 2 for Ben. Looks like he had an off at the chicane. Might have just got a little greedy on power and spun it around, but it looks like he's staved off any damage.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, 18-second gap to stars, so Cole may, after like 3-4 laps, might have another chance to pit stop. So maybe not that bad from Cole. He saved himself. Kind of. He can put on a second set of softs, or maybe even some old mediums or old hards to finish off his lap. As
yeah,
we see Ben getting to the pits with the medium tires.
Interesting. I mean, why not go onto those? If you don't think you're going to make the position up on Aaron, just go on fresh tires and make sure you're keeping it out of the wall.
Yeah, definitely. And just having an enjoyable last few laps. No one likes driving around this track with broken front wing.
No. And while we're in the quiet parts, I'm trying to think on how we be F1 commentators better. Wasn't there one point last year they were talking about taking a bath or something?
Yeah, we're talking about the swimming pool celebrations. You know, like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can see Cole Cummings taking a skinny dip in a swimming pool. A couple people wouldn't mind seeing that. Hopefully he's over the age of 18 saying that. Anyways.
Okay. Do you think we've seen any drivers make agreements with their team principals that, like, their team principal will get a tattoo if they win the race?
I wish I did make any deals like that.
Luke, let me tell you, you have an opportunity right now to make that deal with me.
How so?
Well, if Seb S. Stebbington is to, by some act of God, win Monaco in D3 tomorrow, what if you were to get a tattoo of Seb's design?
Of Seb's design? Well, Seb, I'd have to think very strongly about that, as I have a lot of faith in you, and I trust in you. You're my pride and joy D3 driver, along with Dan, so I don't know. I trust... I have too much faith in you to ever think you'll get less than P1.
Just remember who's carrying your championship as you fail, but
oh,
anyway,
wow. Wow.
I think our closest battle is going to be Hetchersey just staving off Cole Cummins, who we know has a bit more pace just from where he qualified. So I think if by the end Hetchersey keeps him behind, that'll be a very good
taps
result.
The wall. Yeah, I think we should stop talking about Hetchersey too much. We're giving him a little bit of commentator's case. As he taps the wall, doesn't have any end plate damage, but that's not fun. I think Hetchersey
with Christian Cummins.
Yeah. I think Christian Cummings has done a good race. He's been screwed over by his own brother, no less. So,
well, I'm not 100% sure who was at fault for that incident, but unlucky either way.
Yeah, definitely. I think these drivers are at a point where they just need to stay in the same position. I mean, if Christian does overtake Hetrasy, there's nothing to gain.
Yeah.
Besides him making mistakes with him and costing themselves both points. So I think they should all just stay in position, really. No one gains anything. Maybe if Christian gets past both Stars and Hetrasy, he can get P5, but at the same point, all these drivers are fighting for about 2 points each, which is not not like something to die over, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just not the end of the world. I think if Cole or Christian, excuse me, really goes for it on Hetrasy could just let him go too. I mean, he's in a gap where he gets it based off
either
penalties,
way,
but it's not worth it if he doesn't have to. And you always want to do it on track.
Yes. Yes, the race is really quieting down a fair bit. I mean, the only drivers near themselves is up P4, 5, and 6. Only drivers seem to be in sight of each other, as Hutzi has dropped back a lot in pace compared to Aero. Aero on 24-lap-old hards, definitely pushing his limits.
Yeah, a lot of laps, but he has such a comfortable margin over Hudzy. He can afford to just kind of cruise to the end here, I reckon. Just manage as best as he can, and finish out is all he needs to do now. And that's the same with Hudzy and Cole Cummins.
I wonder who this is.
Ooh, Hetrasy gets very loose. His car is ghosted.
Oh, gets loose again.
Oh,
Hetrasy shouldn't be too worried to give up this position.
He shouldn't be. He just needs to make sure that he gets dragged right up with Star's FPS. He does well to give it up and stays right there.
As Christian is parking the bus?
Yeah, maybe a bit of a tap there, but no harm. He just needs to hope that Christian Cummins can close it up here, because of course he's made a 3-second gap to Star's FPS now.
Yeah, definitely. As seems to have a bent end plate. Hetrasy, Christian Cummins having a very, very slow, kind of braking on exit there. Interesting from the Red Bull driver. Will not be keeping this position anyways at the end of the race if Hetrasy does stay behind.
Star's around.
No!
I mean, Star should manage to keep P6 here. I'm not 100% sure.
No, Florida's in his 3-second gap. So this will be a close battle between the two drivers. Very
Stars
unfortunate.
Needs to get down to work here as he gets out of the way for Aero as he gets lapped. But again, P7 is still not awful for Stars. Unfortunate that it happened that late, but I think it's still a result he can be happy with.
Yeah, so Christian and Hetrasy having a little bit of rubbing. Rubbing is racing as long as everyone doesn't lose time or damage themselves. Hetrasy definitely lost out from that encounter with a little bit of wing damage, but hopefully he can keep it in the 3-second gap to get P4.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing else is happening. Josh Bonsley is on medium tires behind Florida, so he might be thinking of making a move, which he tries to do as he's getting past Stars. Josh Bonsley might be thinking about another move. Doesn't do it. Stars FPS having another unfortunate race. Was about to finish so high, but then got so low as Josh Bonsley is looking to make a move on Florida, who's on really, really old hard tires, and Josh is just thinking about making that move as Florida blocks him off. Good job and good defense from the AlphaTauri driver, keeping his position, saying, no, 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 this is my P6.
Ooh. Josh Barnsley there just nudging Florida along by the looks of it through the Nouvelle chicane.
Yeah, Florida. Josh has to be really careful if he wants to do a little bit of rubbing, which is fine. But these F1 cars do not like when their rams get slippy.
No,
as
the drivers.
Aero pits.
Interesting. That's very close, but he's going for a fastest lap gamble.
Why would he?
I mean, he's going to be very close to Hudzy. This might have been similar to the move Ferrari made in.
Oh no, Hudzy had a bit of a. No, this is gonna be too close to comfort. Jesus.
Ooh, this is very risky for Mercedes. Aero just out ahead.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, my heart.
They're gambling for it.
Yeah, Aero just needs to keep it out of the wall. on these soft tires. He's
Yeah,
basically gonna have a
they
qualifying lap.
They should warm up, but yeah, he's just gonna have one last go at it. Maybe even a bit less than a normal qualifying lap at Monaco. So
Oh yeah,
should be
he's
able
gonna
to
have
just
like
send it.
yeah, he's gonna have 2 laps. He's gonna have 2 laps of fuel, so hopefully he doesn't
only-
send it too hard.
He just needs to watch out on this lap. He needs to, I mean, first of all, avoid any track limits, but also make sure he doesn't get behind any lapped cars.
B-Boy Simba
his hot
pitting
lap.
for the soft tires, trying to counteract Mercedes pit for soft tires.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're just going for the gamble itself, maybe not even against Mercedes angle, but, I mean, based off the pace Aero's shown today, especially in qualifying, I'm not sure it's going to make a difference.
As Aero's coming around with about 37% battery. He's on low fuel. He can definitely not need to push that hard to get a good time out of here. He is on soft tires versus everyone on mediums, so hopefully Aero can do something really cool here.
Yeah, but of course, he's
That's his last
Buffalo
lap.
Trace and Stars right in front of him. Hopefully he's not going to run into the two of them and their dirty air before the end of this lap.
Yeah, and Hetrosy also keeping his gap to Christian Cummings, so he will be looking to benefit off of that penalty that Christian has, and Hussey also probably on his knees praying that Aero probably makes a mistake, but Aero definitely keeping himself as Stars gets out of the way for Aero. Very respectable from the McLaren driver. Hopefully Josh can also respect the blue flags and let Aero go. See what happens.
Yeah, coming
As
through the swimming
Aero-
pool, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, he doesn't think he's gonna take fastest lap and take the win of this race as he comes to the final 2 corners. Aero just needs to just drive through that line, and he does as Aero's down this main straight. Aero with his first 0 win and first fastest lap. Aero gets the win.
Yeah, that was a
Hutsy
really
P2.
impressive race from Aero. Cole Cubbins coming around the final corner now. He's backed off, just making sure he gets through, doing a bit of celebration there. The kind of result Ferrari needed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, half points for Ferrari, so they're going to be getting about 12.5 points from this. A good result, nonetheless. He's
Cole
slowing down a
Cummins
lot.
is stopped.
Oh, he's giving it to
in
Christian.
front of the lot. No, no way. There's
Oh,
no
what?
way. He's having fun with it.
Okay, yeah. I was confused for a second. I was like, wait, what?
Either, I won't lie and say the brothers colluding didn't cross my mind, but there was no way. No way. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a
as Hetrosy
podium
just needs to
for
be-
Cole Cummins.
Yeah, and Hetrosy, strong first race from the new Mercedes driver. P4 from Hetrosy. I mean, a commendable performance from him. I mean, he's been attacked, not like, not physically. he's been in some wheel-to-wheel battles. He's been having a midfield battle himself, and I mean, he's come out a winner in his own regard.
Yeah.
Maybe not the pole position everyone wants for, but a respectable performance from the new Mercedes driver.
Yeah, for sure. And just, it's a challenging weekend with not only it being Monaco, but also full qualifying. It's not easy for a new driver coming in. So big ups to him for getting the result Mercedes needed.
Yeah, definitely. As your race winner and fastest lap enjoyer is Aero, with P1 with an 11.9 as his fastest lap. That's very respectable. I mean, some drivers can't even qualify with that, which is very impressive from the McLaren Mercedes driver. Hutsy with P2 from P5, a respectable drive from the Red Bull driver. Would have loved to see what he could have done if he didn't get into any incidents. Cole Cummings, P2, finishes P3. Respectable drive from him. Had a few mistakes in the race. That's okay. He still finished strong. Hetrosy, P7 to P4. An amazing drive from the Mercedes driver. Under all that happened in his race, still finished extremely well. I mean, Red Bull driver of Christian Cummings' unfortunate collision with his brother put him down all the way to last, I believe, and made his way all to P5. So we definitely know he had some more to show us, but definitely showed us what he was with today. Definitely my driver of the day with such a good recovery drive from Christian. Florida, P6, starts and finishes it. I mean, amazing from the AlphaTauri driver. Expected nothing less. Josh Bonzi sadly losing out. Stars as well, sadly losing out. Two drivers that definitely deserve to finish in the top 5 today. Ben, also another driver who definitely deserved to finish higher, but just got unlucky. Hokage, not too much from this race. Didn't show the amazing qualifying speed he had last race, few races, but definitely finishing in the top 10, getting those points for us. Aston Martin. B-Boy Simba, unfortunate race again, deserved to finish higher. I mean, probably in the top 7. Finishes P10, P11. Buffalo Trace, Kevin Magnussen, and Gibbs. Two of those drivers had DNF'd in Buffalo, just having a very difficult race in general. Congratulations to all these drivers for finishing the race who has. It's not easy, and yeah, let's see what we can do in the interviews.
Yeah, we're just seeing if Cole Cummins is on his way now. But I mean, that was a pretty exciting for Monaco, especially towards the end there. We saw a lot of shock moves happen.
Yeah, definitely. As apparently I was recording and streaming. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, that's
That's
gonna
not
be a
good.
massive file.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't brick your computer.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't. Yeah, I'm literally a couple megabytes away from my computer shutting off.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete it. Let's see how big this is.
Just a little
Jesus
behind
Christ.
the scene actions from y'all for y'all on how big our files are.
Let's see uses my thing video.
All right, well Cole Cummins is here, so we'll go ahead and bring him in for an interview.
Give me 1 second so I can move everything. Give me 1 second. I need to work out some stuff.
It's you pit. Oh, what's up, bro?
Cole, that was a really great race from you. We saw you just behind Arrow at the start. Did you feel like you had more pace than him in the first part of that stint?
Dude, zero question. I had more pace than him, like raw speed wise, but like overall pace, no. Practicing after not driving for a month, and I was banging the walls and just destroying the car during practice, and I was like, "There's no way I'm doing well." So I'm happy with third, man. He was way more consistent with me, or more consistent than I was.
Mm-hmm. And we saw Leo Hudson make a shock overtake on you towards the end. Do you just want to give us a rundown on how that went through your eyes?
Yeah, I had a bad exit into the straight, so I tried burning battery, and I knew I had to take a little bit of the inside, but I feel like I wasn't familiar with taking the inside line there, so I screwed up my exit, and he just, one of those mediums, dude, he's just going to cook me, so it was over at that point.
Yeah, unfortunate, but still a really great race. I mean, the three of you finished, I think, 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the field after pitting for fast tires, so... I also wanted to ask, you went on the medium tire, or the soft tires on lap 31. What was your thought process there?
Well, I saw I had a huge gap, and I knew I wasn't going to catch up with them with those cooked tards, so I just said, screw it, I'm going to go for fastest lap. Got it, and then freaking Arrow stole it from me later on, and I didn't push it very hard because I didn't think he'd pit, and that was a mistake.
Yeah. Well, a great race from you. I don't know if Luke has anything to add.
I mean, an impressive race from you, Cole. I expected nothing less to see you in the top 3. Very unfortunate incident from the beginning of the lap. Have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I felt so bad, honestly. He just broke really, really early and then, like, didn't roll through, and I thought we were gonna, like, I was just pushing, man. I wanted to keep up, so, like, I just pushed a little too hard and tried to roll through fast, and he caught me off guard how hard he braked, so I just kind of tapped him a bit and took him off, and I felt really bad. Honestly, at that point, I was like, I just want to log off, dude. I just knocked my brother out of the race. It was bad, but I kept in it, so yeah, it sucked.
And we need the insider information. Is he gonna go tell mom?
He's probably gonna call and bitch out mom and about being so, probably.
Uh-oh. Well, hopefully everything's all right at home. Thanks for the interview, and again, great race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Right, and now we have Leo Hudson in P2.
Races.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
That was an exceptional overtake you made in Cole Cummins on those medium tires towards the end there. What was your thought process once you got up behind him?
Well, from the first time I tried to get past him, he just burns, so it's really hard to catch. So I thought if I send him a bit deep, I can try get him on the switchback, which luckily did work. But it's the only way I could have thought I thought I could get past.
Yeah, and you ran kind of a race that was under the radar for us up until that point. What was it like for you?
Odds are terrible, but the idea was just go long because hoping Aero and Cole would get caught up in traffic behind, but Aero just got ahead of some, so and then plan failed, but I still got top 5 like I wanted, so I was happy.
I mean, another thing, Hudson, not Hudson, Leo Hudson. Oh, never mind. Anyways, near the end of the race, you were kind of dropping down on times. Was that just due to the tire degradation, or did anything
Um,
happen and you were just like, I just want to finish the race?
some of the corners I just kept getting a bit of oversteer, so I thought I'd go a little bit slower just so I can actually finish and not spin out. But it was basically just playing it safe because I knew I wasn't going to catch Aero. So
Well,
I see.
when Arrow pitted, it was pretty close. Was anything going through your mind, or did you still think that he was going to come out ahead?
I didn't expect it, but then I thought it's a good move. But yeah, I wasn't going to catch him because he'll just come straight past me again because the softs are much quicker.
Yeah, well, great race from you. We really enjoyed seeing some late overtakes at Monaco that we didn't expect. So
Thank
our
you.
deepest gratitude for that.
Yeah,
No worries.
definitely. Take care, Hudson.
You too.
And now, our race winner, our best Frenchman, Arrow.
Hello, hello,
Edo.
hello.
First off, how do you feel, man?
Tired.
I'm
It's
guessing
boring.
tired and relieved.
Yeah, true, but like with Major, we had at the end. I wanted to pit like from when he first told me to pit. It was like lap 9, and he tells me, "Okay, next lap we box." I was afraid, but it did work. Amazing call from him. Amazing strategy, of course. Thank you,
Mhm.
thank you to him very much. And at the end, when I saw Hutzi took the fastest lap, I wanted to take it back. So it was lap 22, I think. And I thought Cole stopped too, and I was angry because he stole my idea, but I still did it anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, very respectable race from you, Arrow. I mean, uh, king of consistency that race. You definitely showed. Um, not only did you have pace, but you definitely had the focus to stay consistent that whole race, and that's what got you that far. So amazing race from you. And I mean, do you have anything else to say about maybe your teammate or anything else?
No, he was amazing. He doesn't speak a lot, but amazing race from him. He helped me a lot. He did help Christian a lot. So for the championship, it's good. Yeah, Christian. I don't know what happened on the start. I looked at in my mirror. He was killed, and that's all I know. So, what did you see what happened? Can you tell me?
I think
Just
Chris.
a little contact between him and Cole, but I'm sure we can debrief you later. But again, a great race from you. I think we need to be ending the stream here now.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's not your fault. We kind of dragged this out this long, but it's anyways. Congratulations on your finish. Congratulations on the win. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot more talking to do after this, but I hope everyone enjoyed this broadcast. I hope it was entertaining. I hope we, you know, made this night a bit more interesting for a Monaco race. But yeah, I think that's it. And we're on to Britain, if I'm not wrong. Someone
Spain.
correct me quickly.
Spain.
Spain. Britain's after.
Yes, but also there's an entire weekend of racing to go.
Oh yeah, can't forget that. We have D3, D2 tomorrow, and then D1, final pinnacle of the fastest drivers racing head to head. And yeah, I mean, we can look forward to that. And I hope for all you, I hope you all have a great night, or all the rest of you, and everyone take care. Thank you.